I'm here with Varshini Prakash of the Sunrise Movement, one of the most important activists in the country, I would say.
Thank you.
Yes, I start interviews off with flattery. That's how I get to butter everyone up. But by the time you guys are seeing this, we'll know the results of the Iowa caucuses most likely, but I think we're feeling pretty good about Bernie Sanders tonight. How are you feeling?
I feel scared, I feel nervous, but I also feel extremely excited. And I've been out all day today with our folks in Iowa, canvassing, talking to young people on Iowa State University's campus, getting the thousands of people who have pledged to vote for a candidate that supports the Green New Deal out and voting and out in the caucuses today. So I feel excited, and at the same time, I have it's turning in my stomach right now.
Yeah, can you talk about how the other candidates have approached climate change and how Bernie Sanders differs in that area? Because I just talked to Tom Steyer today. He thinks he's the most progressive candidate when it comes to climate change. I'd argue that it's pretty inarguable that Bernie is. What's your take on that?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Bernie Sanders has the most ambitious climate plan out there. He first and foremost embraced the Green New Deal the minute that it came out. He has ensured that the Green New Deal that he has put forward has been intersectional, so it includes racial and economic justice and understanding that we have to tackle the three crises of white supremacy, of economic injustice, and of the climate crisis all at once. So I think it's clear, and also that Bernie Sanders is not only supporting the Green New Deal, but is building a movement to continue the organizing even if and when he wins the presidency.
Yeah, so can you talk about, he doesn't support a carbon tax, but a lot of people don't understand that people who are using a carbon tax are usually trying to put a Band-Aid over a problem and thinking that they're sounding more progressive than they are. Can you explain why some candidates may decide to go that route and why it's not as transformative as, say, a Green New Deal?
Right. I mean, a lot of people seem to think the carbon tax is an economic silver bullet. And the truth is, it is part and parcel of a broader Green New Deal, but ultimately having some sort of market mechanism and pricing carbon could lead us to a situation where we are forcing the middle class and the low-income classes to pay more than their fair share for moving us towards a transition, rather than targeting the fossil fuel industry that's literally making billions of dollars in profit. Additionally, it's we need to consider the fact that people might lose jobs in this transition, and we have to take care of them. There's going to be a lot of upheaval. How are people being supported to have access to good health care, access to jobs, the ability to provide for their families in that process? The truth is, we need something that's far more comprehensive and holistic, and that is caring for people in the process of transitioning to a renewable energy economy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Green New Deal is actually, in a sense, it can appease capitalists as well, because it brings new innovation and energy, not to use a pun, but into the economy that is dying because we're subsidizing these fossil fuel industries.
It's ultimately a job-creating policy. And oftentimes people don't understand that, think of it as just in the climate or environment realm, but the truth is, Bernie Sanders' plan for a Green New Deal is creating tens of millions of good jobs. And we actually have a shortage of labor in this country put to work to avert climate catastrophe.
And lastly, can you just touch on when you've been canvassing or doing volunteer work on behalf of the Sanders campaign, what the response has been to his climate agenda? Because I think a lot of candidates, until really Sunrise came on the scene, Representative Ocasio-Cortez brought this to the forefront, stormed Pelosi's office where I was there, what a great moment, right? I feel like the Democratic Party as a whole treated it almost as a fringe issue, and now I would say it's a top 3 priority for most voters.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it was a political non-issue. It was a non-starter. And now I'm out there and talking to these young people, and so many people that I talk to, hundreds of people that our young folks like Sunrise Iowa have been out talking to, have been saying that the climate crisis is their top issue, and it's the issue that is the most important to them going into this election. So I think something has fundamentally transformed in this nation. It is no longer viable for our political establishment to act like the climate crisis isn't causing firestorms and droughts and famine and tornadoes and all of these terrible crises to happen. We cannot look away from this crisis any longer, and if they continue to do so, I think young people are going to show that we aren't supportive of that kind of political establishment.
Last, really, what's your prediction for tonight? I'm predicting Bernie, and now I'm predicting Warren too, based on what I'm seeing, Biden, Buttigieg.
I think that could very well be the case. Honestly, I am not.
You're not going to horse race it with me?
I have no idea. I really, the best case scenario would be that Bernie comes in first and Warren comes in second, and it is a grand slam victory for the Green New Deal and for progressives tonight.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.